All right, welcome to the Sports Guys. Another week of NFL recap. A lot of crazy games happened today and on Thursday night. We'll get into all of those. How you doing, Robbie?
Doing great. Really enjoyed some football today and
Yeah, it
yesterday. A lot of football this weekend.
was kind of the opposite of the college games on Saturday because on the college games on Saturday, almost all of them were blowouts. We had maybe two upsets total. And in
Yeah.
pros, you had all these different upsets that were about to happen, and then a bunch of the teams that were favored stormed back and found ways to get it done in overtime. So
Pulled it off. Yeah.
what are your thoughts about that and about some of those upsets that didn't happen?
Yeah. There were some overtime games and there were some games that were back and forth. It was a very exciting weekend of NFL.
It
Uh,
was.
the only
And you had,
surprise to me was that the Chiefs were able to take down the Colts.
me too.
I thought the Colts had that one. Um, but everything else kind of lined up with what I already thought. Browns beating the Raiders, that could have been a coin flip, I think.
hmm
Otherwise,
Pretty happy for Shador Sanders in his first win, in his first
yeah,
start.
he looked good. Yeah, pretty much not too many surprises this week. There were a lot of mediocre teams playing each other, so I
hmm
think those are never going to be like Steelers, Bears.
hmm
It's not going to be a shock either way. So
Any surprise the Lions stormed back to win? I mean, it looked like they were dead for most of that game. They couldn't do very much, and then they found a way to get it done in the fourth quarter.
not really. I think they're the best team in football. They're not they're not dominating people too much. I mean, every now and then they do, but they're finding ways to win, different ways to win. Jahmyr Gibbs rushing the ball is a serious weapon.
What an unbelievable
And
player he is.
and their defense is able to get pressure. So sometimes it bails out their secondary that has problems
hmm
sometimes.
But any concern there? I know you think they're the best team in football, but I mean, they played a Giants team that had second and third stringers on both sides of the ball across the board,
I thought
and
Jameis
they
played really well. And
and
yeah,
they
I think
really
there's
struggled.
concern. I think every team in the NFL has concerns. I don't think
hmm
there's one there's no Ohio State in the NFL.
That's
There's
right.
no team that's just better than everyone else. It doesn't exist.
I mean,
Who's better than everyone else? The Bills? The
it took
Chiefs?
it took a career day
Eagles?
from Jahmyr Gibbs, who's an unbelievable, like maybe top two NFL running back this
Yeah.
year, to save them from a really bad second string, third string Giants team.
Yeah.
So that's the concern.
Every time I looked up, the Giants were doing some weird long throw down field. Not bomb necessarily, but and their wide receiver would come back to the ball and beat the corner who was in good position.
hmm
It was strange. The
Yeah.
Giants just were making plays that they haven't been making a lot this year, and the Lions were on their heels. It was strange.
Yeah.
The
I
defense got
thought
a
that,
little roughed up.
I mean, it shows a lot of the mettle of that team, the Lions, to not give up and to find a way to get it done.
Yep.
There's no doubt about that. And their big players did step up. Hutchinson sealed the game on a sack.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs had some incredible plays.
St.
Um,
Brown.
by the way, Jahmyr Gibbs also in the passing game. I thought that was really interesting. He's becoming a
Oh
big part
yeah.
of the passing game too.
Yep.
So he's kind of like a new McCaffrey. He's so versatile.
And the kicker came through to hit that
Mhm.
what was it, a 58-yard field goal
59
to
yarder. That
tie it.
was his biggest in his career.
Yeah. To tie it and send it into overtime. That was a huge kick.
It was. It
That was
really
a
was.
huge kick. That was a good distance and so much pressure on it that it's hard to imagine walking up there and hitting that.
We'll get into the Eagles Dallas game. That was a crazy game. I mean, it made no sense that Eagles found a way to lose
Yeah.
that game, but they were up 21-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
We found a way to choke that game away. But any other big themes you saw this weekend?
Uh, Most of the good teams won, but it was definitely touch and go throughout the game. So uh, I haven't heard of a whole lot of bad injuries, but there were a couple of people who got knocked out. Higgins and um, few others.
Do you
Not
think
too
the
many
Colts are?
teams. Just a lot of teams are separating. With
You think
wins.
you think the Colts are for real? I can't figure them out. They're so up and down, inconsistent. Even within a game, they play
They're
like
having
barn
trouble
burners.
beating the good teams. I'm
Mhm.
noticing that the Colts have really struggled against top tier teams. They're beating everyone else.
I mean, they're getting out to 20 to nothing leads and can't hold it. That
Yeah,
doesn't feel like a championship team to me.
no. That tells me they're not running the ball enough, you know? I mean,
Mm.
that's
And they have Jonathan Taylor.
well, I know, but I'm saying I'm not sure that they're using him to the utmost that they could be. Maybe they're
And
trying to give him some weeks off or, you know.
I noticed that Danny Dimes is a really good quarterback when he's got a lead and they're running the ball with Taylor. But when they get into these
Yeah.
high pressure situations at the end of a game where they have to have it and it's 20 to 20, he looks a little flustered, maybe is the right word, or confused. And, tries to throw it to Warren on every play. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if I'm buying the Colts or not. I'm not yet.
I'll tell you what I'm worried about. Look at the Colts rushing today. How many different running backs did they use? Just Taylor and their quarterback.
Hmm.
And that's a problem because they're
Yeah.
worried about they only had 16 carries for Taylor. I think he should
Hmm.
never be below 20 to 25.
Hmm.
And you know, are 5 carries going to make the difference there? Who knows? But Kareem Hunt carried it 30 times, and he's not
Hmm.
a fraction the talent that Jonathan Taylor is. So,
I also
um,
saw a lot of holes in that secondary for the Colts in the second half.
yeah,
I mean, there were guys running free all over the place. Xavier Worthy, Rasheed
yeah,
Rice. Rasheed Rice had it like the half of his life. And
yeah.
so
He
that's another
141 yards receiving, unreal.
it's another concern I've got for the Colts is their secondary. So,
I agree. I think they have some weaknesses,
mhm.
but I'll tell you, not being able to run the ball effectively. And if you're scared of running Jonathan Taylor too much, you have to have a backup. You've got to have somebody who you can put in there
Mhm.
and run the ball also.
It's true.
But I mean,
Well, let's go ahead and dive into the scores.
do it.
Let's start with a call out tonight for tonight's sponsor, and that is DraftKings. DraftKings has been a longtime partner of ours, and we love working with them. And I really have enjoyed playing with DraftKings this entire football season. It's been a lot of fun. I have had varying success every weekend, but I really enjoyed their interface. You can bet as little as $5. You get up to $100 match when you first sign up for DraftKings and deposit money. How you doing, Robbie? What do you think of DraftKings?
Great. Love DraftKings. I do the low end betting myself. I really enjoy doing games that I think are interesting and base it on whatever knowledge that I have about the game and the matchups. I certainly think they do an awesome job. They're real trustworthy. They're easy to very user friendly. I love the way their graphics are and their setup, and they always have cool specials sometimes. So I enjoy it. It's sort of like one of those fun little dabble hobby things, and I really appreciate their support of what we do here. And they're an awesome partner and really good group.
What do you think about the juice it adds to the game? I mean, it really gives it that
It
little
does.
extra. I don't know what percentage it is, but it definitely, makes you watch it a little bit closer.
I have a little rule that I don't bet on games that I care about, meaning I love one of the teams or something because it sort of skews my analytical abilities sometimes. But for the most part, it's really cool to really analyze deeply who's playing well, who's healthy, what kind of momentum there is, what matchups look like. There's so much cool stuff, and they give you this platform to see if you're right.
It's really true. And, it gives you that same feeling that you get when you get with fantasy football. And of course,
Yeah,
DraftKings has daily fantasy football. They've got weekly, they've got the entire season. You can play fantasy football on them, or you can just place bets. So, whatever you would prefer, go check out DraftKings.com or download their app and deposit today. Have a
check
good
them
one.
out.
All right, so the game that's going on right now is Buccaneers Rams at 0-0. That game has just kicked off. What do you think about that game, Robbie? Who do you think's going to take that one? It's in Los Angeles.
I think the Rams should take it, but I'll tell you, I think the Bucks are that. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were asking what team is it out there that no one's talking about right now that could sneak up and make a run? And I think the
Hmm.
Bucks are that team.
They could.
I
They
think I
could. So,
think the top tier is pretty solidified now. You're talking about the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Lions. Um, who else is up there? Probably the Rams. And maybe
definitely the Rams.
one
Yeah.
other. But I don't think people are putting the Bucks in there. And I think they
Hmm.
probably could be because they're good on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. I
They
mean, the
got good
Eagles.
quarterback
Eagles are up
play.
there. Eagles are 8-3, so they're up there.
Yeah.
You know,
Patriots, you know?
Patriots. Yep. I would have said Colts, but today I'm really concerned after what I saw. They can't
Yeah,
close a
I'm pretty
lead,
concerned.
but they still are in a good position right now.
Well, the problem is we've seen that a number of times now. It's not like
Right.
one
And then
time they played badly.
Broncos are 9-2. So I mean,
Yeah.
they're in really good position. So
But their offense looks terrible. So,
I agree with you about Bucks. I think they're a team they could get hot. Their problem is that
yeah.
they have not been healthy all year.
Yeah,
And are they going to get healthy in time? I don't know.
that's true.
Um,
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
I wouldn't bet your house on it, but
they're down to their third string running back, although he's pretty good. This kid Tucker.
yeah.
So I like the Rams in that game narrowly. Next game, Bears Steelers. This is a wild game. Caleb Williams even gets sacked in the end zone and gives up a touchdown to the Steelers to their defense,
Hmm.
but finds a way to overcome it. And they continue to win. They've won 8 out of 9 now. The Bears sitting at 8-3 after starting 0-2 in the season. Caleb Williams comes through in the clutch. He's now become the fourth quarter quarterback, kind of like a Baker Mayfield type. I never thought I'd see that. Moore had an amazing day, 2 touchdowns. Pittsburgh was without Aaron Rodgers, who broke his left hand last week or his left wrist. And I thought
Yeah,
Mason Rudolph actually played pretty well. You have to. That's all
he
you can
did.
expect out of a backup. But what's your thoughts on this game?
I thought it was a really good game actually. I was surprised that there was decent amount of offense. And that I don't know, one thing that was pretty wild was the Steelers lined up for a tush push
Mm-hmm.
and they faked it and handed it off. And the guy ran for a 56-yard touchdown. It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty
Yeah,
amazing. You don't see
yeah.
that
This
very often.
this kid Gainwell used to be with the Eagles, and he's joined Pittsburgh now, and he's the only guy who can get any running going for them. They've had
Yeah,
struggles all year trying to run the ball, but he's looking pretty
I
good.
know.
It's giving them that
Yeah,
element.
yeah,
But
Gainwell's good. But at the end of the day, tip your hat to the Bears. They got another one. And
yeah, got another one.
Caleb had a few plays that were pretty spectacular.
He did. He's playing really well. They said Ben McDonald was a quarterback whisperer, and I now agree with that.
Yeah, he definitely is getting more out of Caleb than we've seen at any point in his pro career so far. Yeah, it was a good game. It was just enough offense to be interesting, and they both teams really wanted it, and they fought. It was
No doubt.
pretty close in stats. If you look at the stat categories, I mean, pretty close.
So Tomlin said that Aaron Rodgers is going to try to play next weekend with a cast on
Yeah.
his left wrist. I don't know how that's going
Right.
to go, but I think they're feeling a little bit desperate now, slipping to 6-5 and trying to win that division. So
It was interesting. Both teams were 3 for 3 in the red zone.
that
That's
is
very
interesting.
rare
It is.
to be perfect in the red zone, both
So,
sides.
so I'd say Caleb has come along a lot this year. I'm very impressed with him. But
Yeah.
that one play he made in the end zone, he should have thrown that ball away a lot
That was
earlier.
unbelievable.
And why he
T
let T.J. Watt get on him that quick.
I don't know. Not throw it away, not be ready to throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
Have somebody picked out where he's going to throw it at their feet. Like
Mm-hmm.
you got to get rid of that ball and not get grounding.
That's right. Congratulations to the Bears, though. All you can do is
Yeah,
tip your hat. They won 8 out of 9. And for the Steelers,
they're
trying to
doing
rush
well.
Rodgers back next week. I know why they're doing it, but I'm not sure it's a smart idea. I guess we're going to
It's
see
not.
if it's the right thing
Well,
to do.
defer to the medical team on that, but I will say that it seems to me like they're hurrying back an old man and veteran. They don't heal up as fast. You need to be careful.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
yeah,
So
you might
next
want to
game,
think
the
about that.
Patriots pull away in a really tight game. The Bengals actually got a pick six on Drake May. He had made very few bad throws this year. This was one of the
Yes,
worst I've seen. He just didn't see the guy. And pick six, but overall, in the second half, the Patriots just kind of took control of this game, won 26-20, although the Bengals put up a good fight with a
they
lot of
did.
backups in the game. Um, Flacco continues to give them a chance to win, which is obviously why they traded for him. So. And this kid Brown, the running back, is a really good back for
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
he is. He's
This
having
is
a
my
good
most
season.
moment. Yeah. Hunter Henry with a big day. Drake May pulls it together in the second half. Any thoughts about the Patriots moving to 10-2?
I thought they played gritty. They played hard. Trevion Henderson with a real hard push at the goal line. They did get stopped down there, and I feel like they're kind of a team of destiny right now. They didn't
They
look
feel that
great
way.
today.
They feel that way, yeah.
They didn't look great today, but they definitely fought hard, especially in the second half. And um, well, actually, second quarter they had a lot of success. I I
Mhm.
um I feel like they were really fortunate that Cincinnati was so banged up. In one of the plays, T. Higgins came down and slammed his head against the uh, the ground, and he
Mhm.
went out. He probably has a
Mhm.
concussion. Jamar Chase is out because he spit in Jalen Ramsey's face.
Right.
So they really were going deep into the bench, and
Mhm.
they gave New England everything they could handle. But it was a
And I
road
was
game, so it's a good road win.
and I will say that Drake May, other than the one throw that was bad, but all QBs have that sometimes.
Sure,
He throws
try to
one of
make
the
things happen.
he throws one of the prettiest balls in the NFL. I mean, it's
Yeah,
really fun to watch him play.
yeah.
He doesn't even have the best weapons, really, but
He was one of those guys that I was saying he's a perfect example of guys that had a bad senior year. Draft him anyway.
mm-hmm. Yep.
Herbert and him really stand out as guys that, you know, people shy away from because all of a sudden their supporting cast isn't as good and they don't live up to the expectations. And so a lot of the NFL scouts pull
Mm-hmm.
back from the player thinking that they've developed bad habits or something.
Right.
To me, I always want that guy because you're going to get him at a good value. So,
Did you ever think that the Patriots could be 6-0 on the road? I mean, have we ever seen this before? There's no team that has kind of record on the road.
I mean, yeah, at their heyday, yeah, but this Patriots team, no, not really.
Yeah, that's crazy. If you went three and
Yeah,
three or 4-2, that's doing really well on the
yeah,
road in the NFL. So the Bengals
yeah.
go to 3-8. They got some good news. They've got Burrow back at practice, and apparently he's starting next Sunday. So he is going to be back in, and they're going to get Jamar Chase back. Do you think there's anything they can salvage from this season? I mean, they're so far behind
No,
at this point. No.
no, no, I wouldn't play those guys.
Is there any reason they should bring Burrow back at this point at 3-8?
No,
Yeah, I don't think so either.
no. See what else you got on the roster. See who's still fighting, and that's who you want to keep
But
in
apparently he wants to
the
play,
deep.
so and he's going to play. So we'll see what happens. I saw that funny meme today, Robbie, where they have Joe Burrow's new uniform, and it was bubble wrap
Bubble wrap, yeah.
with a
I saw it.
Bengals emblem on
Yeah, that
it.
was good.
So yeah, pretty funny. So kind of interested to see how he looks after all this time not playing.
He's gonna look good, but I mean, he's also gonna be getting hit a lot. I don't understand it.
This next game, Jameis Winston, I thought acquitted himself very well today. I thought the Giants
Yeah,
fought really hard. They have essentially second and third stringers at every position on both sides of the ball. I mean, they're really banged up. They don't have Scattaboo. They don't have Jackson Dart. They don't have a lot of their offensive and defensive linemen.
yeah.
And
Linemen are
they
out.
they led the Lions the entire day, and the Lions had to come back with a really furious push at the end to try to tie it, and they did. Tied it and send it into overtime. Then the Giants can't do anything on their drive, and then of course Jameer Gibbs takes over, has one of the prettiest runs of the entire season,
He
right
had
up the
two of
middle for
them.
69 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so pretty. He was untouched. So, thoughts about this gutty win by the
I think
Lions?
he's definitely the prettiest running back to watch in the NFL. And I think him and Bijan Robinson are the best running backs in the NFL.
Mhm. So, any
And
other takeaways here? We've talked a little bit about it already, but the Lions find a way to gut this one out.
Jameis is a gutsy quarterback, plays well. He had an incredible play when he received a pass and
Yeah,
actually juked the linebacker and
and
jumped
broke a
over him
tackle. Broke
and
a
broke a
tackle.
tackle and went into the end zone. It was awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it was exciting. It really was.
But
And
yeah,
Jahmyr Gibbs with 2 rushing and 1 receiving touchdown
yeah, he was awesome.
kind of announces himself to the league. I mean, everyone knew he was good, but
And
it
let's
feels
face
like
it, St. Brown, he has 149 yards receiving and
I
a
know
touchdown. He was awesome.
he was.
He was awesome.
This is just a matter of the Giants fought as hard as they could, but they just played a better team.
Yeah.
That's
And
the way I look.
Wandale Robinson played an amazing game.
He did.
He
He
had
really
some
did.
catches. Man,
And
beautiful
actually, Tracy,
touchdown.
Tracy ran the ball pretty well. He's the backup for Scadaboo. I thought he was
Yeah.
pretty good today.
Yeah.
This is a tough match. I know Giants are going to be having a really sad flight home because they feel like they let this one go.
Yeah,
We
they
could have
fought
had it.
hard.
But yeah, congrats to the Lions for getting it done. Next game here, this was just kind of sad, Robbie. I watched the whole game, and this is a big time rivalry. The NFC North should be really competitive. Last year, they got 3 teams into the playoffs, and today it just wasn't a contest. I mean, McCarthy is a completely dysfunctional quarterback at this point, and I
Yeah,
feel
there's
like
something wrong.
he's not ready.
There's
Um,
something
and what
wrong there for sure.
and they can't run the ball, and so they can't really help him. And they're getting into these 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7 situations on every single drive, and he just can't do it. He can't execute the offense. So, what are your thoughts about this
Yeah.
game?
Uh, I think they got to go back to the drawing board. I mean, it's just it's just not good enough on offense.
They have a really good roster, Robbie. The
I
Vikings.
guess so, but it's not it's not playing well together,
They were
you
13 and
know?
4 last season. They essentially brought the same roster
They gave
back.
up 5 sacks and 7 tackles for loss.
Hmm.
Uh,
They went 13 and 4, brought the same roster back, but shipped Darnold off to Seattle and puts in McCarthy, and now they can't play. And so I don't
yeah,
know.
and
It's really
McCarthy's taking all the blame, and I just don't agree with that. I think there's a lot of things the team's not doing right, including not running the ball. But I
Justin
don't know.
Jefferson was so frustrated.
Defense played well enough to win, possibly.
Mhm.
Just offense just couldn't do a thing.
Justin Jefferson was so frustrated he threw his helmet against a brick wall right below all the fans above it. And a lot of
Hmm.
people think he's going to get fined for that because it was really kind of dangerous the way he did it.
Yeah,
Just so frustrated, and they can't get him the ball or any of the other weapons that they've got on that
yeah.
offense.
I mean, they're in a bad way right now.
Packers go to 7-3-1. This kid Christian Watson's playing really well. He had another
Yeah,
nice game. They didn't really ask Love to do very much. Basically, they just didn't want him to turn the ball over. And the Packers defense just absolutely ate in this game. Their defensive line
yeah. I
was in
mean,
the backfield on every play.
we always talk about turnover margins really important. If it's close, then you know you can survive it. But when it's 3 turnovers to 0, it's
Hmm.
you can't survive it.
It's
And that's
true.
what happened. Two picks and a fumble lost.
Hmm.
You just can't win that game.
I feel like the Vikings, although this has not been a good year, I think that they're one quarterback away. I really do. When I look at that roster,
I
they
don't.
need a running back and a
You need
quarterback.
linemen, running back, and some defensive pieces.
So I don't know if
Um,
I'd blow it up and trade everybody in the offseason and all that and start over. I'm not trying to do that. I think you're going to need another quarterback who
you
can
need
actually
pieces. Yeah.
who can run a third down offense, and then you need somebody who can actually run the ball. You need Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame.
They absolutely need Jeremiah Love or
Yeah,
somebody like that.
right.
Last year, it seemed like a lot of good running backs came out. They should have grabbed one.
Mhm. So Packers remain in really good position for playoffs, 7-3-1. So next game, the Seahawks build up this humongous lead on the Titans, and it looked like they were just absolutely blowing them out. And then Ward had his best half as a pro in the second half. They scored 21 points, almost came all the
Yeah.
way back, and really
It was a
pressed.
gutsy performance by Ward.
It was impressive. It was impressive. It was kind of like the Smith and Jigba show in the first half
Yep.
and the Ward show in the second half. That's how it felt. And there was a lot of that this week. There was a lot of like total different halves, almost like different games.
Yeah.
Some thoughts about the Seahawks here holding on in this
Yeah. I mean,
kind of
I think
impressive performance by the Titans. Yeah.
I think Jonathan Taylor is the MVP this season, and I think Smith and Jigba is number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you have to get to number 3 before you start seeing a quarterback. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, Smith and Jigba is I mean, we haven't seen a
He's just
dominant
a
receiver
stud.
like this in a while.
He's just a
Um,
stud. He
he
really
is a
is.
stud. He's a
Yeah.
stud. Seattle's starting to learn to run the ball a little bit. Kenneth Walker
Mm-hmm.
and Charbonnet together
Yep.
are doing pretty well. And then
I feel like that's what every team needs. You mentioned earlier with Jonathan Taylor needing a backup. I feel like every team
yeah,
needs the two-headed monster.
yep,
Seahawks have it.
yeah. And Smith and Jigba just is a monster. I mean, 2 touchdowns, 167 yards. If you
Any
take
cons-
him off this team, Tom, they're not making the playoffs. They're not
they're
even a
probably
playoff contending
they're
type of
probably
team.
3-8 instead of 8-3. I mean,
Yeah,
he's literally that
probably.
important. Yeah.
Probably so because he moves the ball down the field and he does long plays and they get touchdowns that they would not get otherwise.
And Darnold's having one of the greatest years ever for a Seahawk quarterback, and it's largely because of Smith and Jigba. I mean, if you're just
Yeah.
fair about it.
Yeah.
So Seahawks hold on. Any concern about this second half where they almost let it slip away?
By the way, a lot of times and Jigba's not even really open, but like they say, he's always open. Like
Mm-hmm.
just throw it and he'll go get it. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not that he's high pointing the guys. He's just timing his movement back for the ball and whatever
Mm-hmm.
perfectly.
Yeah,
And
that's
he's
right.
beating the defender to the ball somehow. But yeah, I'd say there's some concerns. You don't want to ever let up on a Tennessee Titan team that's reeling. They're 1-10, 0-6 at home. There's no home field advantage pretty much.
They're
Um,
literally the opposite of the Patriots.
yeah,
Yeah.
but hey, they have professionals too, and they have a good young quarterback playing and some prideful NFL professionals. So
I
they're going
was
to be
happy to
tough.
see. I was happy to see Ward have some success because he's had such a bad
Me
rookie
too.
year,
He's
and
been
the fact that
really maligned.
he's starting to round into shape a little bit, which is good to
Hmm.
see. Yeah. This next game, I also watched the whole thing, and I do not have any idea how the Colts lost this game. They were just beating the heck out of the Chiefs.
I
Chiefs
was
could not
stunned.
score touchdowns. They kept having to kick field goals, and really their offense has largely been stuck in reverse the last 5 weeks. And then the same theme that's happened the rest of today, Sunday, and that is that one team was great in the first half and the other team was great in the second half. On come the Chiefs, storming back, and Colts couldn't do anything in the second half. It was kind of pathetic. Kareem Hunt and Patrick Mahomes and Rashee Rice had a huge day. Thoughts about this game?
Uh, little Chiefs magic, little Mahomes and Reed magic getting a win here. Um, yeah, I don't think they really deserve the win in terms of how they played against their opponent, but they made some plays and there were definitely some strange plays like where they did a direct snap to uh, Kelsey
Mm-hmm.
for a touchdown, and then it got called back.
Right.
Um, so,
Yep.
but I think Indy's line. What I saw was Indy's linebackers got kind of abused a little bit.
You did. And I will say when Worthy and Rashee Rice get going, when he gets them going and they start running those
Yeah,
routes, especially the crossing routes, not many people can stop it, especially
that's
Rashee
right.
Rice. He's very quick.
Yeah,
And
he's quick, but he's also a playmaker, big time playmaker.
he had a huge impact on that second half because he was just
Yeah,
running free on almost every play. So,
yeah, and it looked like if It looked like Kelsey was definitely the safety valve for Mahomes. But yeah, at the end of the day, that's one that got away. If you're the Colts, you really want to get that win.
If I'm the Colts defensive coordinator, I'm not going to just let Rashee Rice run across the field every play. I don't understand what they're doing.
Um,
Why do you not have somebody on them? I know they're playing a lot of zone. I get that, but zone is very easily crackable by that type of route. So,
yeah,
and then Kareem Hunt had his best day since his Cleveland days. Gets
yeah,
30 carries, and that tells me that Andy Reid is leaning back on the run game again,
yeah.
and I think that's a really smart decision.
It is.
So,
You know why? Because when you run the ball, you can handle adversity like being on the road in the playoffs. You can be in
mhm,
cold weather. You can deal with a hostile crowd. There's a lot of positives to running the ball. You can run the ball. You can run the clock out when you're up in the fourth
mhm,
quarter. When you can effectively run the ball, you can manage how many possessions the other team has. You can have longer, slower drives, eat up more clock. There's so
mhm.
many benefits to being able to run the ball. You don't want to just run the ball. You don't want to run the ball 70 times in a game or anything, but you have to be able to run the ball. And if you can't, you're going to end up being one dimensional, and eventually you are going to um, have bad games, and everyone's going to be asking what's wrong with you and all that
It's
stuff. So,
true. It's true. One
yeah,
element we need to talk about this game was the Colts are essentially going to make the playoffs. They did
yeah.
not need this game the way the Chiefs did. The Chiefs are sitting at 5-5. If they had gone to 5-6, they're done. Their
I think
playoff
they
chances.
needed it though in terms of exercising the demons of trying to beat the Chiefs when it counts.
I know, but
They
what I'm
really,
saying is the Chiefs
no, I agree
really,
with you.
really needed this one. Yeah.
I agree with you, but I think the Colts emotionally needed this one because
Hmm.
now they're not sure if they can beat the Chiefs when it's really on the line.
Hmm.
I
That's right.
mean, what are they hanging their optimism on?
True. Well, Chiefs would have been not quite mathematically eliminated, but virtually eliminated if they had lost this game. So the fact that they
Yeah,
found a way to get it done, pretty
yeah, it was a
impressive.
big win for the Chiefs for sure.
So next game, the Jets storm out to an early lead with Tyrod Taylor. It looked like they were going to maybe shock the Ravens today, and then the Ravens took over, especially Derrick Henry took over in the second half. He had a really
Yeah,
nice couple of runs there, and the Ravens
the
beat.
defense looked a little disorganized in the first quarter.
It did, it did,
Um,
and
the Ravens were just kind of like pointing at each other and like who had
to
him,
say
and
to say this was not the Ravens' best performance would be an understatement. But
yeah,
they've now won five straight. They've been very fortunate that this run of their schedule has been a lot of easy teams. They
yeah.
haven't really played anybody strong yet, and so they've gone from 1-5 to 6-5. They're back in it. The Jets are just really that bad, and we're going to find out here as the Ravens has some really tough games coming up. We'll see if they're any good or not. We're going to find out. But thoughts about this game? Do you think the move to Tyrod Taylor was a smart one, and the Ravens' prospects of trying to get back in the playoff race?
I think the Ravens are in a bad division, so the fact that they're the best team in that division gives them a lot of hope. They're getting their stars back a little bit. Their defense is playing a little better, and they're running the ball. Henry's been doing decently with Jackson back, so
Mm-hmm.
you know it's not that impressive of a win or anything, but I do think what the Ravens are doing is impressive, which is righting their ship and pointing in the right direction, and then starting to get a lot of wins.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a super good looking set of wins, but they count, and you are what your record says you are. So they've turned the corner now, 6-5,
Mm-hmm.
and they definitely were on the wrong course there for a while.
So four
So
out of the next 5 weeks they play playoff teams, and so I think we're going to find out a
yeah,
lot about the Ravens
yeah.
if
How
they're a playoff
scrappy are
team.
they?
That's right. We're going to find out a lot.
But their division is bad, and therefore they have built-in advantages
Mm-hmm.
with they need to play all these bad teams.
But if they just squeak into the playoffs and they're the number 6 or 7 seed, that means they're going to be on the road the entire playoffs,
Yeah,
which
they
is
have
really,
no
really tough.
chance. Not with
Yeah,
this roster. This roster has holes and problems.
yeah.
So,
So the next game, Shador Sanders gets his first win as a pro, his first start. Actually looked pretty decent. He did throw a pick.
decent, yeah.
The pick was actually an ill-advised throw,
Well,
but
every quarterback's going to throw a pick. That's not even how
yeah,
you necessarily gauge it. It's how did he bounce back from that? Did he keep throwing picks? All that stuff. So I was pretty impressed with Shador.
I was
11
too.
for 20.
He had a couple really nice throws, and it was pretty interesting to
Yeah.
see. His father was there for the game, and he was up in one of the boxes, and he was really celebrating when he threw the touchdown in his first start. So that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts about this? I mean, the Browns' defense is so good that they could probably
Yeah.
win a couple of games just by themselves. That's how good that defense is.
I think that the Browns have some nice players and they were on display today. Dylan Sampson, gorgeous
Mm-hmm.
run. He's a fast running back.
He is.
Um,
He really is.
they had Quinshawn Judkins was getting some tough yards and two
Mm-hmm.
touchdowns. And I think they have a lot of nice pieces. They need to keep working on their lines. And the quarterback play was not great, but it was good. It was good quarterback play.
Do you feel like
And
the Raiders are wasting Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers? They have these two generational talents on their roster,
well,
and
no, I mean not wasting. It's just it's sad because they've allowed parts of their team to deteriorate so badly.
yeah, I just feel like Ashton Genty. He just looks sad because he knows that if he was on a really good team, he'd be
It's really
racking
weird.
all-time numbers.
What I saw was a lot of pressure, but only one sack. Like how does
Hmm.
that happen?
That's true.
If you're breathing down the neck of the quarterback all all day long and you get one
Hmm.
sack all day,
Hmm. I know.
well, that's weird. But how about for the Raiders? Carl Snowden got a pick.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah, that was a really nice interception too.
that's awesome, man. I love that guy.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was so good
yeah.
for Virginia.
For Virginia. So
Yeah.
he definitely had a good game.
Well, this was a joyous occasion for Shador. It was a joyous occasion for his father, who was there, and for the Browns, who continue to pick up some wins here and there if they can. Still has been just a totally maligned franchise, and I know that the Sanders family feels like he was drafted into a bad situation. But what can you do? He's already risen above Dylan Gabriel, so that's one good thing.
In some ways, I mean, Dylan Gabriel's hurt, so
Yeah, true.
they made a huge mistake handling their quarterbacks, and we were saying it back then.
They did.
You don't you don't bring in um, Flacco and um, what's his name? The guy that was with Pittsburgh.
I know who
Uh,
you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, he went to Pitt also. Um,
Hmm.
and then get rid of those guys only to keep two rookies. Like
Yeah.
that's just nuts. They should have picked which rookie they liked and gone with that.
And an injured Deshaun Watson. I mean, at one point with Tyler Huntley, they had 6 quarterbacks in the quarterback room in preseason. And you're like,
I
what are you
know.
doing?
And the only ones really available were like rookies.
That's right.
So it just complete. It was malpractice.
It was. So this next game, Jaguars find a way to get it done on the road against the Cardinals, kind of a scrappy Cardinals team. We know Jacoby Brissett's been playing really well in filling in for Tyler, um, in filling in for Kyler. And the Jaguars find a way to get this done in overtime. They overcome 3 really bad interceptions by Trevor Lawrence.
Hmm.
Although Lawrence did have 3 touchdown passes as well, so he had kind of a mixed day. But I think this is one of those ones you just chalk it up to. We're glad to get the win and we move on. But what are your thoughts on this one?
That's right. Well, how about the Jacksonville Jaguars at 7-4 in a mediocre division? Like that's
True,
pretty good.
it is.
Pretty good. They're spreading the ball around decently. Everyone kind of ate today, you know.
And Etienne's having
Etienne,
his best season ever. Um,
Etienne had 30 yards receiving. Munt
mhm.
had 12. Uh, Jacoby Myers had 50. Parker
Hmm.
Washington had 71. Brenton
Hmm.
Strange, 93. So they were spreading it around.
By the way,
Uh,
Parker Washington is their best receiver now. He's
yeah,
by far their best receiver. He's going to be their number
yeah,
one. Hmm.
he's good.
Yeah.
And then, as always, their defense always does well. Jacksonville, they had 6 sacks and 11 tackles for loss.
Hmm.
So that's really kind of why they won this
They would
game.
not be 7-4 without the defense they have. They do have a very
That's
good
right.
defense. Yeah.
That's right.
Doesn't it feel like they're overcoming Trevor a little bit this season? I mean, he just
I don't think
some of
it's
those
just
passes
Trevor,
are
though.
inexplicable. I just like, what are you doing? You're throwing right to the
It's not
middle into
just
triple
Trevor.
coverage. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Uh,
I'm not anti-Trevor or anything. I'm just saying I don't
no.
understand sometimes that when he throws these balls that you just don't understand it. He's enough of a veteran. He shouldn't be making these mistakes. That's the way I look
Yeah, I
at it.
agree. He's been a starter for a couple of years now, so it's true.
Yeah.
He should be
Two,
beyond a lot of
two
these.
of the picks were triple coverage. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Throw it away. But they get the
Well, they
win.
had
So,
yeah,
yeah.
they had four turnovers. Arizona had 0 turnovers, and they still won somehow.
So that does not usually happen. And what that
That does
means is
not
the
happen.
Jaguars are the better team. That's what that means because they're
Yeah,
able to overcome. Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, congrats to the Jaguars going to seven
I
and
think
four.
they're building for the future. They're not going to do much this year, I don't think, but they're a good team that is
Mhm.
putting together, learning how to win.
So this next game, the Eagles storm out to a 21-0 lead in the second quarter. The Cowboys score a touchdown right before halftime, and it really kind of changed the momentum of the game. But still, 21-7 at half, and I thought to myself, Eagles are just by far the better team here, and the Cowboys are done. They're just not good enough to overcome this. Well, I was completely wrong. They shut out the Eagles in the second half. All the problems that the Eagles have been having all year with the offensive sputters and the inability to get the ball to the receivers and Barkley getting stuffed at the line, that all came back in the second half against a bad defense. And Dak starts throwing it to his tight ends and throwing it to CeeDee Lamb and getting it to all of his different receivers, Pickens, and they find a way to come back and win this game at the buzzer with Brandon Aubrey, who's the best kicker in football. So, what are your thoughts about this comeback?
Hard to believe it happened, but not shocking either. Like it felt like the Eagles were going to get it handled. It was strange. I mean, they got nice pick in the end zone. They were throwing it to AJ Brown nonstop in the first half. It was nice to see. They were
Mm-hmm.
really picking apart whoever was covering AJ Brown, and just throwing him the ball nonstop and finding creative ways to get him open in good mismatches. And somehow that just stopped in the second half. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I don't know. It was a weird game.
It really
They are
was.
having problems on offense.
They
They're
are,
not very creative anymore.
and I was thinking that maybe some of those problems were starting to fade in that first half because they really looked dynamic in that first quarter,
Yeah,
especially.
they look good. They were
And
hitting
Dallas,
AJ Brown on every pass.
and you have to tip your hat because Dallas made adjustments at halftime, and the Eagles didn't, and that was it.
In addition to that, they were also making plays, and the
Hmm.
Eagles stopped making plays.
That's right. So the Eagles, if they do end up having to go on the road in the playoffs, they can look back to this one as one that got away because it really was kind of inexcusable. You go up 21-0 on a team that's not very good.
Yeah. I know it's an in division rival. I get that. And it was on the road. These are really tough games. But they did
Hmm.
have it handled, and they should have found a way to just hang on.
Hmm. That's
Like you
right.
should be able to run the ball and run the clock out when you have a lead.
I still don't understand the Eagles' struggles to run the ball this year. It's been happening all season. I don't get it.
I don't
Any
either.
success they're having is through the air, pretty much. So I don't know. Maybe someone will be able to figure it out, and we can read that analysis and figure out why they can't run the ball. I don't know if it's the offensive line or what it is, but this next game, the Falcons take out the Saints. The Saints are really bad. They did have that one game against the Panthers, but for the most part, they can't score very much. They get stopped around the 25-yard line and then can't go any further typically. And that's what happened in this game. And you have Kirk Cousins got his first winning start in a long time. And they take this one 24-10, two really bad teams. Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Shuck looked like a rookie. It's ugly. Why are you throwing him 43 times a game? It's a disaster. Taysom Hill had some trick plays, but he didn't look good either. So there was no leadership on the field that was doing well and making good decisions. You shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have Tyler Shuck be your leading rusher. That's
Mm-hmm.
terrifying. 22 yards is your leading rusher.
It's terrifying. And you have Alvin Kamara in your
Terrifying.
yeah.
Well, Kamara got
And
hurt.
I know, dude. And Taysom Hill. I mean, you
Taysom
just
Hill just didn't. He was 0 for 2 throwing.
yeah.
Uh, so,
But he usually runs the ball quite a bit, especially when Kamara's not in there.
yeah.
Bijan Robinson got going. That was nice to see. This is one of those games where the Falcons just were playing a very team that doesn't have a lot of fangs right now. So that was my
Yeah, I
takeaway.
mean, I'll tell you, Atlanta has some weapons. I mean, they have Drake London and Mooney and Bijan and Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some offensive weapons.
100%.
It,
No
it
doubt
is
about it.
unfortunate that Penix is out for the season, but definitely Kirk Cousins is a very solid backup.
He's very serviceable, no doubt about it. So the Thursday night game, the Bills lose to the Texans on the road in Houston. And I have to tell you, Robbie, watching this game, this was the best defensive performance I've seen in the NFL this year, by far.
I agree.
With Will Anderson and Bullock, and everyone on their line got some kind of sack or pressure or tackle for loss. They were just all over the Bills. It was crazy. There were a couple
It
times
was.
Josh Allen looked like deer in the headlights. Like, what do I do? Threw a couple really bad picks. So, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean he looked lost. I I was so impressed with the defense. Um, I saw a breakdown analysis of the defensive pressure schemes that the Texans were using. It was really cool. Their whole idea was to move Josh Allen, so make him step up into the pocket and then collapse the top of the pocket so that he feels like there's nowhere to go. And he's just running for his life instead of looking downfield and really seeing the field well. So what they would do is they would push their defensive ends up the field really fast and really form a pocket that he needs to step up into. And then they would do twists with their D tackles um, to get to the center point and push him into their charging defensive ends. And the whole thing would just collapse. So the whole thing was collapsing the pocket. Now, of course, you're always trying to do this. And just because you want to do it doesn't mean that you have the capability. But they do have it. They're a fantastic defense. They were creating all kinds of hurries and pressure, and they made
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen look lost. And
Mm-hmm.
he they were it was awesome. I mean,
It was. I will say Cook had a really good day. So, the Bills still had a chance to win this game even at the very end. So,
Cook had a good first half.
as
Cook had a
poorly
good
as they
first half.
played, as poorly as they played, and as badly as they were beaten on the line, they still had a chance to win at the end. So, it tells me that, the
Yeah,
Bills are the better team, but the Texans deserve this one the way their defense played. It was really
but
impressive.
there's no way this year we're gonna see a defensive performance that good. Um, 8 sacks, 11 tackles for loss.
It was incredible. It was
That's
absolutely
unbelievable.
by far the
Unbelievable.
best performance I've seen this year, by far.
They were collapsing that pocket on Josh Allen on every play,
Hmm.
and they were just attacking with reckless abandon. And
Hmm.
Will Anderson was amazing.
He's amazing, and this kid Bullock may be even better than Will Anderson. I mean, he was in the backfield every play.
Yeah.
He was unblockable. So, man, what a defensive line the Texans have put together. It's really
Yeah,
fun to
for
watch.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bullock. Yeah, he had 2 picks. Yeah, he was awesome.
So the Monday night game is my Panthers going on the road to San Francisco to play the 49ers. Both teams are right in the thick of the playoff race. You got Mac Jones taking on Young, who's been playing better the last couple of weeks. You got Rico Dowdle, who I assume is going to get a lot of action in this game to try to keep it out of Brock Purdy's hands. So what's your take on this one? Do the Panthers have a chance?
I'd say yeah, they do, because they have been playing okay on defense, and they're definitely running the ball well. Their offensive line is holding up, so Bryce Young's playing just well enough to move the ball and to get the offense going. And I don't know, they're scrappy and they're easy to overlook. So that means, and by the way, McMillan is doing really, really well as a rookie. He's
He's going to get some
off
Rookie
the
of the
chart.
Year votes. He really
Yeah,
is. I mean, he's
he's
right
leading
there.
the rookies in receiving,
Yeah.
and he deserves a lot of credit for making it a formidable throwing team.
They
There's
finally
other
have a number
players on
one
the
receiver. You realize that since
yeah,
Steve Smith
yeah,
retired, they
yeah.
haven't had
He's
one in
he
a
is
long time.
he's the number one for sure.
Yeah. So what I'm worried about in this game is Kittle and Christian McCaffrey. They're just two
Yeah,
guys it's really hard to cover. They're a bad matchup for anybody who tries to cover them.
yeah.
And I just don't know. I mean, the Panthers have been playing good defense lately, but not against two players like that. These are Hall of Fame type
It's
players.
tough. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the Niners' offensive line is susceptible. I really like the Panthers' pressure that they put on. They're real tough on the defensive line. Um, and so the Niners should get this handled with Brock Purdy, but I don't know. The
Hmm.
Panthers are going to continue to get good, ugly wins
Hmm.
and just keep stockpiling those
That's right.
and
So
be
what I
really
think
close,
the
get
only
themselves
path
close
to
to the
win,
playoffs.
the only path to win this game is Panthers are probably going to have to win the turnover battle by about two.
Yeah,
And number one, and then number two, they're going to have to run the ball and have like a 200-yard day like Daddle's had a couple of times and just keep the ball out of the 49ers' hands and keep it close until the very end and try to win it like 24-20 or something like that. That's your path to try to win.
yeah,
I don't know if they can get it done, but that's what you try to do in the game plan. So we'll see. I'm excited to see how they play
yeah. It's doable
on,
because that's
on the
that's what they've
road.
done several times this year. So
That's right. So, big time update. The Rams just scored again, and they're up 28-7 now in the first half. And they've gone on an
Mhm.
offensive explosion on Sunday Night Football. Devontae Adams just scored, and the Rams have looked just absolutely fantastic in this game. So there you go, Robbie. There's the answer on who's going to pick this one up.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
It looks
But the
like with the
Rams, the
loss,
Rams should take this game.
they should. They should. It looks like with the Eagles' loss, the playoffs are going to run through Los Angeles. So the Rams,
Yeah,
with their indoor stadium, perfect conditions, rather than some of the cold weather conditions that could happen in the NFC. And then on the AFC side, with some of the teams losing there, it looks like the playoffs are going to run through Denver. You're going to have a lot of snow and cold weather type stuff on the AFC side. So we'll see if that's how it happens,
yeah,
but
we'll see.
that's where we are right now.
They're not dominating people, so I'm not convinced that they're just going to run away with it.
I'm not surprised the Rams are winning, but I'm a little surprised by the score. I thought it'd be a really tough, close-fought game, and maybe the Bucks can come back. But um, man, what an explosive offense the Rams have right now. Stafford just threw a beautiful ball to Devontae Adams. All right, let's take a look at scoreboard for next week. These are the games that are coming up. I'm interested to see, Robbie, who you pick's going to win each of these. So the first one is Packers and Lions in Detroit. Who do you like in that matchup?
Detroit.
Me too. Me too. I think that they're going to be a little upset how they played today, and they're
Yeah,
going
their
to come
defense.
back
They're going to be upset with their
redoubled.
defense.
And I think they've got more good players, and I think Detroit's very tough at home.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, the Packers beat the Lions earlier in the season, so there's a little
Yeah, they owe 'em
revenge.
one.
Yeah. So I do not think it'll be a blowout. I think the Packers will keep it close.
Oh, sure. Give me a
Next
good
one is
matchup.
Chiefs go to Texas and play the Cowboys in Dallas. Chiefs come in and Cowboys both on a high, both getting a big win. What do you think about this one?
I think Chiefs can exploit Dallas's secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Dallas is good enough to get some wins, but not beat everybody all the time. And I don't know. I think that they're tough at home, but I think that the Chiefs should take care of business.
So with their narrow win today against the Colts, the Chiefs are now 1-5 in one-score games this year. So they finally got their first win in a one-score game. I have to think that they're not going to enjoy living on the edge every single week. So do you think
Right.
they can make this a comfortable win against the Cowboys' really bad defense?
Yeah, they're going to want to try to make it comfortable.
Yeah. Maybe a 10-point type win. I think the Chiefs' defense is probably the best defense the Cowboys have played in a long time. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think Chiefs get that one done. Next one is Bengals go on the road to Baltimore. This will be Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase coming back to action. So what are your thoughts about this one? And, of course, the Ravens need to keep winning if they want to make the playoffs.
I mean, the Ravens have more to play for, and they've had Lamar back now for a little bit, so they should be clicking. Uh, and they're trying to fight their way into the playoffs, so they should they should be able to take care of business.
I think so. I think so. Joe Burrow, though, I think he'll be pumped up. I think he'll look good. Would not shock me if the Bengals pull this one off at all.
It wouldn't
I don't
shock me
think
if they talk him out of not playing.
that could also happen. But if he does play and if Jamar Chase plays and Brown runs the way he can, there's no reason the Bengals can't win this game. So Ravens are not great this year.
Yeah. Right.
So now just looking at these three games on Thanksgiving, how exciting is that, Robbie? We got 3 games to look forward to, 1,
Love it.
4:30, and 8:20. So there you go. There's your slate, guys.
I want to fall asleep in my chair, man.
Exactly. Your Friday game, which is really cool that we have one on Friday, is Bears Eagles. That's on Amazon Prime. Caleb Williams goes into Philadelphia to take on Jalen Hurts. So what's your take on this one?
I think the Eagles get right.
I do too. I think they're going to be really upset how they played that second half. And they're going to come out and redouble their efforts. And I don't think the Bears are in the same class in terms of talent. I know they're
Yeah.
8-3, but yeah. So yeah, I like the Eagles to get that one done on Friday. Then you look at Sunday, you got 49ers, Browns. 49ers coming off a short week, taking on Shedeur Sanders. Take here.
49ers, Browns should be some exciting football. 49ers should take care of business.
They should. The Browns defense keeps them in every game, so I'll never
Yeah.
say it's going to be a blowout.
They
I
keep
don't
it
think it'll be.
close and they'll grab some, but Niners they have a lot to play for.
Be like 23-14 or something like that, that type of game where it's close until the end. Then you got Jaguars taking on the Titans. Jaguars should get this one done. There's really no excuse. They're just the better team. They have more weapons.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of
It's-
crap game because it's in Tennessee. You just don't know. I mean, one of these days
Yeah.
they'll beat somebody. So you just don't know.
Yeah, Titans are slowly starting to look like a team that might be able to beat the bad teams.
Right. That's true. Texans take on the Colts in Indianapolis. Colts will be pretty fired up after this inexcusable loss they just had against the Chiefs. And you'll see Jonathan Taylor running all over the place. They will be playing a really tough defense in the Texans. So we'll see. I don't know how Daniel Jones will do against that unbelievable defense. If they perform anywhere close to that, could be some problems for the Colts. Your Dolphins take on the Saints. They could win their fourth in
Let's
a row.
go.
Yeah. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't win their fourth in a row.
It should.
Yeah. So Tua and Shane and Waddle and all the guys. Miami's favored by 5.5. That'll be a fun one to watch. Falcons and the Jets. It's kind of a stinker. I can't imagine why the Falcons wouldn't win on the road there. Cardinals, Buccaneers in Tampa. I like the Buccaneers there. What about you?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think Baker gets it done. Panthers host the Rams. Man, this is a tough game. This is the one when I saw the schedule, I said, "Oh, that's gonna be brutal." Not looking forward to it. It is in Charlotte, so it helps a little bit. So it'll be on natural grass, which they're not used to. So don't know about that one. Vikings,
I don't think it's
Seahawks.
gonna be that close.
They're calling
I
this the
think
Sam.
I don't think it's gonna be that close.
You don't
No.
Rams, Panthers.
Yeah, I mean it's not gonna be a blowout, but I don't think it's gonna ever be in question.
I mean, it's the same game plan we're going to have against 49ers. You got to run the ball a lot and keep the ball out of Stafford's hands. I mean, he just has too many
Yeah.
weapons. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we got the Sam Darnold Bowl with the Vikings taking on Sam Darnold in Seattle. And I see the Seahawks just dismantling the Vikings, I think. They're just a much better
Maybe.
team.
The Vikings D keeps it close though. They don't let any teams go crazy scoring.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep losing games, but they're close
Mm-hmm.
games. So who knows? You
Mm-hmm.
know, who knows if they can keep it close, they could take it out on the Seahawks right at the end and get lucky.
Then you got the Bills going to Pittsburgh. Bills have lost 2 out of 3. I got to think that they're going to be really motivated to win this game against a backup quarterback if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, or if he does. Even so, I like the Bills in this matchup.
Yeah, same.
Raiders go to Los Angeles to a Chargers team that is missing about half their roster, but they still have Justin Herbert, Lad McConkey, and a decent running game. And I don't see how the Raiders can win this game. So what do you think?
I don't either. Yeah, I think Chargers should be able to take care of business.
Sunday Night Football, you got the Broncos taking on the Commanders, who have now lost 6 in a row. So is there any hope for the Commanders here?
I'm not really sure why they're doing so poorly.
Mm.
But yeah, there is hope because the Broncos aren't blowing anyone out.
Yeah, it'll
You
be a
can
close game just because the
keep it
Broncos don't score
close.
much. Yeah,
Oh,
keep it close, and then maybe Marcus Mariota makes a play. Who knows? Unlikely, though.
yeah,
I wouldn't bet
very
it.
unlikely.
The Giants travel to New England in the Monday night game. So I don't know. The Giants are unusually competitive at 2-10.
They're very competitive.
Yeah, but
Gutsy team, you know?
they're not going to beat New England in New England, in my opinion. So I don't see it. So those are your games coming up, guys. And drop us a comment what games you're the most excited about. Robbie, I'm going to turn it over to you for the mailbag, man.
All right.
Let's see what good ones we got this week.
So here we go, the mailbag. This is from this last week when we did our NBA preview.
Mm-hmm.
And we had Cole on, our guest. He did awesome. It said episode 88 delivered big time. The predictions, player insights, and commentary were absolutely top tier. Keep pushing out this quality content at Doherty69.
That's awesome. Thanks, Doherty. Yeah, we loved having Cole. He was such a great guest, and he understands and analyzes the NBA so well. And we had a really good conversation. So glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was particularly proud of that content where it felt like I was learning a lot and we were able to really pinpoint some good points along the way. I thought it was informative. And I got when I watched it back, I felt like I learned some things on myself from both of you guys. All right, next one. The analysis in this episode was spot on. The 25-26 season has been full of surprises, and you covered every angle perfectly. Awesome work. That's from Alistair Cook at Alistair Cook.
Thanks, Alistair. Yeah, we did our best to get ready for that show, put in the research, bring you guys the content, bring a great guest, and yeah, it's been really surprising year so far. Even just 15 games in, there've been a lot of interesting things that have happened, and it's a really fascinating NBA season this year, and I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
seeing the rest of it.
it is.
Thanks for the comment.
Next one, another fire episode. The breakdown of the season so far was on point at Alex Lon.
Thanks, Alex. Fire episode, Robbie. I love that.
Fire episode. Love that. This one is from our NFL recap last week. This is an awesome recap. Love the energy and humor mixed with real insight. That's at Arthur Willie Flores.
Thanks, Arthur. Yeah, we try to bring some humor. I know we go back and forth and talk about sports and argue about sports, and we try to infuse as much humor as we can and make it entertaining. So thanks so much for the comment.
This one's interesting. The culture Mike Vrabel is building is truly impressive. By Aaron and Ramos.
I could not agree more. We talked about it. I mean, this guy comes in. We knew he's a great coach. We know the Titans shouldn't have let him go. He comes in, and in one season, he takes a below 500 team and turns them into 10-2, and looking like they might be the number one seed, either them or the Broncos. And so it's pretty impressive.
All right, last one. Love the breakdown of the potential AFC Super Bowl teams. At Anthony Jason Diaz.
Hey, thanks, Anthony. Yeah, the AFC side is interesting. Really, the NFC side is too. And we're breaking it down as much as we can. We got 6 weeks left, and it's going to be fun to see who makes it.
And that's the mailbag for the week.
Fantastic. Guys, thanks for the comments. Thanks for keeping them coming in. We love them so much. It gives us an idea of what you guys want to see and what you're enjoying, and helps us create great content in the future. So thank you so much.
Yeah, it really helps us with content creation and coming up with ideas. Y'all have amazing ideas out there, and we appreciate you throwing in thoughts that help us kind of cumulatively come up with things that we find interesting, and hopefully you do as well. But yeah, we appreciate your taking the time to give us those thoughts, and so we can work with those and add them into what we're already doing in our little conversations, like as if we were in our car on the way to work, which is
100%.
how all this started.
Guys, thank you for joining tonight for our NFL recap. Another great week. We got another big week coming up. We wanted to thank you from the Sports Guyz for your patronage, for joining us for this journey, and hope you have the best Thanksgiving with your families. Just have a great time and take some time off, watch a lot of football, eat a lot of food, fall asleep in your chair like Rob's going to, and
Oh
just
yeah.
happy Thanksgiving, and just count your blessings.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and hopefully you can enjoy family time and a little time to reflect on what you're thankful for. And I know we are very grateful this year for a lot of good stuff, and I'm sure everyone out there is too. Um, and we'll catch up with you soon.
And next week we'll bring to you NFL recap. We'll be able to talk about the Thanksgiving Day games and another great weekend. So
Excited for those.
thanks for joining us. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time on the Sports Guyz. Have a great night.
Thanks for all your support. We'll see you.